If you're watching this, you likely started your content creator journey so that you could leave your 9 to 5. But how do you do it? How do you know when you're ready to leave your 9 to 5? In this video, we're going over how you know when it's the right time to quit your job, the mistakes that I made when I went from my 9 to 5 to self-employed, and the exact financial checklist I would recommend to my students who are in my BSP Slack community who want to quit with confidence and not chaos. As always, timestamps are below. Use them if you need them, and let's get into it. First, let's talk about how you know when it's the right time to quit. The right time is going to look different for everyone. There is no right time. And I'm not saying that in the sense of like,
there's never gonna be a right time, so just quit right now.
That's not what I'm saying. I say it that way because I was waiting for the perfect time. I had been thinking about quitting my corporate job for 2 years before I actually did it. In that waiting time of 2 years, I was waiting for like that magical perfect moment where the heavens would open up, the doves would fly, and the heavens angel choir would start singing, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, it is time. This is my moment. I should leave my job. Like, that is the moment that I was waiting for. And then after 2 years of waiting for that perfect moment, I realized I wasn't gonna have one. There was no perfect moment. There wasn't gonna be like a heaven's gates open. I realized I had to make that moment for myself happen. So what I did is I decided to set benchmarks that I wanted to hit before leaving my job. It wasn't because I didn't enjoy my job. I loved my corporate job. It was simply because I knew it wasn't what I was meant to do. It wasn't my purpose here on this earth. It didn't fill that deep creative desire that I've always had in me. And I knew content creation was like, that was what I was meant to do. I just had that feeling. So some of the benchmarks that I set for myself were things like, how much money did I want to make as a content creator before I quit? Do I want to save up a certain amount before quitting? What sort of lifestyle changes was I willing to sacrifice or make to make that transition easier? For me, I started saving, I think 10 to 20% of my corporate job pay. I moved it to a savings account. I knew that I wanted to make at least half of my corporate income before quitting. I don't remember what my month-to-month income was. Let's say it was like $4,000 a month. So I knew I wanted to be making $2,000 a month as a creator, maybe consistently for 3 months, because my corporate job, 40 hours a week, but in addition to that, extra drive time. And I knew if I could make half of my income with weekends as a content creator, imagine what I could do with that extra time. So that was kind of what I told myself. I just want to make half, and then I'll put in my 2 weeks so that with that extra time, I could really hustle more and double that. For lifestyle changes, that I really needed to just eat out less and pack more of my lunches. So I was usually buying my lunches or buying breakfast on the way to work, dinner on the way home. So instead I needed to be more intentional with like making my breakfast at home, taking lunch and dinner to work, and saving money that way. If I were able to hit all of those things, to me, I was like, okay, I feel like I have all my ducks in a row to quit my job. So to help you identify when that right time is and make a proper plan, here is the checklist that I would recommend. This is exactly what I would recommend to my BSP Slack students. So let's talk about each of these things in this video. First, set an income goal. Now this isn't, I wanna land paid collaborations. We wanna get a lot more specific than that. So what you're going to write is you're going to write, once I hit X amount of dollars per month for X months, I will feel comfortable leaving my job. What is that number going to be? Well, do you want to fully replace your 9 to 5 income before quitting? If yes, put that number. If no, what number are you willing to hit? So for me, it was half of my corporate income, $2,000 a month. Now, when you are writing down your income goal, you want to make sure you are calculating or thinking about taxes. Because right now, likely your job place is already taking taxes out of your paycheck. You don't have to worry about paying those taxes or most of those taxes. But as a creator and being self-employed, basically business owner, you're gonna have to pay those taxes when tax season comes around. And this is probably going to be about 30% of the money that you're making. So let's say you want to make $1,500 a month from content creation. Keep in mind, 30% of that is $450. So really, you'd have $1050 that goes to you, and then $450 that you have to set aside for taxes. It is best to set that full 30% aside because tax season comes around. You're gonna pay your taxes. Let's say you don't have to pay the full 30%. Say you just owe 20% or 10%. You get basically your own tax return. You set the money aside, you have it in your savings, you pay whatever is left over in your savings, wahoo, you get that money back, and then you keep saving for future tax season. But it's best to just overestimate, put the full 30% aside. So write down your income goal. And once you have your income goal set, the next checklist item is to set up your income source. If you want to make $1,500 a month, where is that money going to come from? Do you want to make it working with brands, making UGC, making money on TikTok Shop, selling digital products, offering coaching? How are you going to make that money? Because let me say this to you, you do not have to wait for that money to come to you. You don't have to wait for people to slide into your DMs or brands to slide into your DMs and ask to collaborate. You don't even have to be saying,
Millie, well, I'm not monetized on YouTube yet, or I'm not even monetized on TikTok. I can't make money yet.
No. There are plenty of ways to make money as a creator. Even if you're starting from zero, you want to set yourself up for success so that as you're growing, you're making money with your growth. So let's just talk about the easiest one that you can set up literally in a weekend or less, and that's selling digital products. The reason I love digital products, and it's the number one income stream that I recommend to all of my students in my Slack community, is because it's passive income. You do the research, you title it, you create it one time, you set it up to sell, and then if it's living in your link in bio and you're making content around that same topic, you are making passive sales. It's that easy. So to keep everything as easy as possible for you to get started with this as fast as possible, you really only need one tool to set up your product to sell and make money. You're going to create a link in bio, and you're going to do that using Stan. I have been talking about Stan for years. I've loved them since the beginning of time, before I've ever partnered with them or before they ever sponsored videos here on my channel. Now they are a sponsor of this video, which is really cool. But I have seen so many of my students have great success because of Stan, growing their email list, making money. This is what you're going to do. You're going to put this prompt into ChatGPT. Okay, you're gonna tell Chat, hey, I wanna create a $47 digital product that solves a huge pain point for my audience and gives them a clear transformation that they can achieve in a short time frame, like get X results in Y days. Can you help me come up with a viral worthy idea and title? Then you're gonna give Chat a little bit more info about yourself. So you're gonna say, here's some info to help you. Here's my niche. My audience struggles with this. They desperately want this. The transformation that they should have by the end of this digital product should be this. I could help them achieve that in this amount of time. I typically teach blah, 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 blah. My brand voice is blah, blah, blah. Like, you're gonna give as much info as possible to Chat, and then you're gonna say, I am looking for you to give me a viral style product idea, a high converting product title, and a subtitle and bonus ideas to stack the value. Chat is gonna give you some great options. As long as you give him, I call him a him, I don't know. As long as you give it all of the information, you are set. There you go, viral ideas. Pick one that feels authentic to you and the creator that you want to be known for. And then if you're like,
well, now that I know the title, I don't know what to do. How do I make the outline?
one, go to Canva. Look up ebooks. There's free templates. Click free templates. What do you put in the template? Ask Chat. Hey Chat, can you help me create an outline for this guide? Here's what I usually teach. Fill in, just brain dump. This is what I would teach them. He's gonna give you an example outline. You're not gonna use it exactly. You're gonna take that outline, plug it into Canva, customize it per your voice, per what you would actually teach. But it's a great starting point. Then, literally this is so easy. Export the PDF from Canva, add a digital product to your Stan store. You upload the PDF, set your price, press publish, boom shakalaka, you're selling a digital product that easily. People can buy the digital product on Stan. You make your money through Stan. You could withdraw your money from Stan. It's literally keeping everything in one place for you. The final step that you have to do is put a call to action in your bio telling people to go buy your digital product. Just put like a short, catchy version of your title in your bio with a little arrow pointing down to your link. If you can't think of a short version of your title, ask ChatGPT. Just be like, hey, what's a short version that I could use in my bio as a call to action? He'll help you along the way. To make sales even easier, what you're going to do is create content around the digital product. What sort of content should you create? Ask ChatGPT. Literally in the same thread, be like, wow, great, thank you so much for helping me. Can you give me 20 video ideas that I could use as Reels or TikToks to lead people to this digital product? He's gonna give you a bunch of ideas. You're gonna pick ones that feel authentic to you, of course, paraphrasing, using your own verbiage, making it your own. And in each video that you create, you're gonna say, let's say the product that you're creating is like a 30-day gut reset. Get rid of bloating in 30 days. I don't know. Let's say that's the digital product you're creating. You're gonna say at the end of every video, comment reset, and I'll DM you a link to my 30-day reset guide. Then in Stan, you could set up an auto DM where every time somebody says reset, they'll automatically be DM'd your digital product. They'll be able to purchase it right there off of Instagram, and you're making bank. I know, I just like bleh a lot of info at you, but I have like full video breakdowns talking about all of that. Like literally go to my channel, go to the search on my channel and look up digital products, look up auto DM. There's a tutorial for everything, how to create the digital product, how to set up your auto DMs to make passive sales. I have it all. I have it all for you if you need the deep dives. Go to my channel and check it out. You can do all of that in a weekend. Just follow all the little videos. I think they're like maybe 10 to 20 minutes. Follow them step by step and you'll get it done 24, 48 hours. Okay, we talked about digital products as being an option for your income stream when you're setting up an income stream before you leave your job. Something else that you want to consider or an alternative for income is doing some freelance work or getting a part-time job. That's something that I did to help me with my transition. I did seek out and find part-time social media assistant jobs. I found 2 clients that helped me make $2,000 a month. So one client was $1,000 a month, the other one was $1,000 a month, and I was running their social media for them, but I was able to do that work mostly remote. With one of the clients I had to go in twice a week, but still worked out. I was way less than what I was doing before. So I had 2 freelance jobs where I was like, okay, I made $2,000 a month as a content creator, as an educator, and now I have clients that are helping me hit $2,000 a month. That is my full-time income. I am set, I can leave my job. It doesn't have to be client work. It could really be a part-time job just locally around your city. That way you have somewhat of a reliable income source while having that extra time to work on content creation. Okay, now that you have your income source set up or on track, next on our checklist is saving up an emergency fund. As you're building up your income goal, start setting aside a portion of your income to build up an emergency fund. If you aren't able to set aside more of that check, then what I recommend is looking at your current spending habits and asking yourself, can I replace my Postmates expenses this month? Can I cancel my Netflix subscription for a few months and allocate that money to my savings account? This emergency fund ideally will end up being a total of 3 to 6 months of living expenses. And if you want, you could save up more, like 6 to 12 months of living expenses. But if you're like desperate to get out of your situation, 3 to 6 months. For me, this is a step that I skipped. So it is skippable, but it's something that I wished I didn't skip. I was saving money, but it wasn't 3 to 6 months fully. It was more of like a dollar amount. I think I was like, oh, I just want to save up $5,000. And I didn't look at what my current expenses were before I set that amount. So I didn't do anything very strategic about this. And it kind of came to bite me in the butt after, because I did leave my corporate job in October, and then October through February, I was working for myself, but it was very hard, made a few mistakes. Money wasn't coming in as consistently as I thought because I set up my income stream and then I didn't drive traffic to my income stream. That was my mistake. But because I wasn't driving traffic to my income stream and I was just like posting photos like, wow, I'm self-employed, I dipped into my savings and used up all my savings and ended up having to go back to work and find another job. So even though I skipped this step, it came back and bit me in the butt and I had to get a job again and then restart the whole process over. So if you're able to save money, this could be a nice thing to save you in the future. What you want to do is you want to make sure you think about any living expenses that you have, and even you could calculate benefits that you might be losing after leaving your job if you have benefits with your job. So if your job right now covers health insurance, will you be taking that on as an expense? So you'll want to think of all of your expenses and make sure you're saving 3 to 6 months of those expenses in a savings account. Now, to calculate this, I made a simple plug and play calculator for you to use. I'll leave it linked down below. All you have to do is just click on the link and plug in your numbers, plug in your expenses. You'll have to make a copy of the calculator so that you could change it because other people will have access to this link. So go to Google Sheets, duplicate the template, and then plug and play your expenses. At the very bottom, it'll tell you how much your emergency fund should be. Okay, our final checklist item is to set up your business. If you have the intention to make money as a content creator, it's gonna be a good idea to legitimize content creation as your actual business. So long as the intent to make money is there, you want to legitimize. So to do this, we're going to set up a business bank account. You want to separate your business and personal expenses and income. And this also makes tax season less of a headache with those split bank accounts. And then you're also going to register yourself or your business as an LLC. Now, disclaimer, this is not legal advice. I'm not a professional in this field. Always consult a professional CPA or legal professional of any sort if you have questions about this. This is simply me sharing with you what I did, what worked for me. Okay, this is what I did. So what I did for setting up an LLC was use LegalZoom. No, not sponsored. LegalZoom was so freaking easy. I literally just went to LegalZoom and was just like, oh, I'm in California. I want an LLC. Just for letting you know, we did an S Corp, but focus on LLC. That's for you. Ask a professional. So you want an LLC, right? Click LLC. You start. You fill out all the blanks. It's like a little form. Oh, what's your name? Millie. What's your address? This. What's going to be your business name? It's Modern Millie, right? So you just fill it out. You send it. They're going to send you in a packet. And the packet's gonna have a checklist that you follow. You must love checklists. You're watching this video. They're gonna send you a checklist in this folder of like, hey, here's what you need to do. You're gonna go to this sheet or this form in the folder and you're gonna fill it out. And then you're gonna mail it to this address. It's gonna take you step by step. Just focus on one checklist at a time and your business will be set up. I think there is a fee, so you do have to have that in mind, but you're gonna be a full-time content creator. You're gonna be making full-time money. So what, $350 if you're making $50,000 a year? No biggie, right? So we're gonna do it. We're gonna legitimize our business. Then for business banking, what we did was we just went to our bank, like where I was currently banking at. We just went to our bank and we're like, hey, do you have business accounts? Could we open a business account? And we talked about that process, what that would look like. We ended up opening a business account because we're like, cool, we can do all of that. For us, when we set up the business account, we created multiple, like we created a checking account, a savings account, right? We had a savings account in our business just for taxes. So we had an account where all of our income would come into, and then we had an account where it's like, okay, we're gonna use this account to pay for everything. And then we had the savings, and that's where we save our taxes. And then we had other accounts. Basically, we set it up following the Profit First method. Amazing book, 10 out of 10 recommend. I'm pretty sure, Profit First. This is the method that we use to organize our finances as a business. And what we currently use every 10th and 25th of the month when going through our income. So 10 out of 10 recommend this book. You don't have to set up all of those bank accounts if it's confusing, but just get at a business bank. I've heard if you go to your local bank and you're like, this is crazy, I don't love all these steps. I've heard nowadays there are better alternatives for content creators that's online banking. There's businesses like Novo, so I definitely recommend checking them out. No, not sponsored. And if you're somebody that is watching this video and you're not in the US, you're gonna have to do your own research. I don't know what it would look like outside of US. So I just know like US, just look up how to get an LLC in state on Google and follow the steps. If you follow this checklist to a T, you're going to be able to quit your job and be a full-time content creator. If you need more tips for making money, how to set up your digital products, how to do all of the things, of course, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I create free content like this for you every single week. I want to help you grow and monetize your career as a content creator in the digital space. So be sure to subscribe. If you have any requests for upcoming videos, let me know down in the comments. And before you click away, be sure to watch this video next because YouTube thinks you'll like it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.